Welcome, everyone, to this week's edition of Sports Shorts TV. Happy 2018 to you. Hope everybody had a great holiday and New Year. Rodney Rance alongside Joel Davis here in the LeBaire Studios in Baton Rouge. This was by far the coldest and nastiest holiday on record in my lifetime. I'm 45 years old. I don't think I've ever had days where it was, 3 days in a row in the 20s and snow and all that. Some people love it, some people don't. Even though I'm the size of a grizzly bear, I prefer the summertime. But how was everything with the holidays for the Davises?
It's fantastic. It's good.
You seem a little irritated, though.
No,
No,
not at all.
Not at all.
I mean, depends on what we're talking about.
You just,
Are we talking sports? Or are we talking like just
so
in
you're
general?
good with the family. Family's
The family's
good.
phenomenal.
There was no beatings
Business
or anything
is phenomenal.
happening. Everything good.
Family's phenomenal. Great. Oh, blew my transmission
Did you?
in the truck. Yeah,
Well, it's not a surprise. It's got about 300,000 miles on it. How many miles?
338,000.
Finally, something happened.
Transmission goes out. Well, it's kind of it still works. Like I can turn it on and drive like to the neighbor's house.
Yeah.
But I can't go over 40 miles an hour because it's not shifting into third or fourth gear.
Well, hey,
And I know you
did good, though. 38,000 miles before you had to do something other than replace tires.
Yeah, and luckily I got a buddy, so that'll.
You got a guy.
I got a guy,
and
but the thing is, it's still you're starting off the new year spending money that you just weren't expecting to spend. After a big Christmas, probably spent the most money I've ever spent on Christmas this year.
You don't seem happy about that.
And then this, and then this. Yeah. But other than that, it's great. I mean, the Tigers lost.
Well, and then the
Tigers.
Saints. But let's,
Yeah, but that kind of actually works out for them. Let's see if that works out.
Let's go in
for 'em.
order
Yeah.
of irritation the most.
Okay.
Let's talk LSU right off the bat.
Oh, you don't want to talk about the transmission anymore?
No, let's move on. LSU finished the season 9-4, where I think we all took December for granted and expected LSU to beat Notre Dame.
Why?
Because, there was a lot made. Look, we saw Notre Dame just get trounced by Miami. We thought LSU had those kind of athletes. We thought that we were going to out-athlete them.
They do.
When Notre Dame got the Offensive Line of the Year award,
Yeah.
slow. And
Offensive line doesn't matter.
I would have thought that the
Offensive line does not
I
matter.
would have
when it
thought
comes
that
to
the LSU athletes would have dominated that game. I thought would have out-athleted Notre Dame on the turf in a somewhat warm environment. Okay.
Weather was kind of bad.
Weather was nasty as far as Orlando is concerned. It was 45 to 55 with misty rain and that kind of stuff. But instead, what we got was a team that it looked to me, and I know we make a lot about off-the-field issues with when you're talking about coaches and rumors and just anything. We put a lot of stock in off-the-field distractions, but where in reality 18 to 22-year-olds are distracted by their phone and their girlfriend more than anything. They don't really care about all that other stuff. But this team looked dysfunctional in offense. This LSU team.
Don't forget special teams. They looked dysfunctional there.
Yeah, but the special teams because they don't have a coach.
Yeah.
You're coaching the return punt. You're coaching the kickoff coverage.
Are they the only team in college football that doesn't have a special teams coach? At that level. I'm not talking about FBS.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a great question. If we did our homework like Matt Moscona, maybe we would know that.
Well, he has all day.
But he really does.
He has
have
all day.
It's
He
all
better be
does
good.
Is that show 3 to 6? But I would say that the special teams. That's a whole nother issue. And we know that moving forward in 2018, LSU will have a full-time special teams coach because the NCAA allows one more coach now to come onto the staff full-time. So they will have a full-time special teams coach, former NFL special teams coach.
Yeah, McMahon is not very good.
But, it's all he's going to do full-time.
Is he going to recruit?
He's working on special teams.
Is he going to recruit? Because he was terrible in the NFL.
Yeah. But let's get back.
And by the way, was he coaching this special teams? Wasn't he like...
He was the eye in the sky. Couldn't talk to the players. Couldn't go on the field. He could just watch film, send in notes to the coaches who would then coach the players. But by the way, you got like 5 coaches coaching different things in special teams. Okay,
it's absurd.
But let's get back to the offense.
So dysfunctional.
The LSU offense, and look, this was a game that to me LSU should have won. As bad as they looked, to me they outplayed Notre Dame except at the very end of the game. But this was a team that that made mistakes, and there were a lot of mistakes that, the coaches, when they watch the film, they'll see quarterbacks taking the wrong step, running backs running in the wrong direction, the tempo, the play calling was off. This was just the offensive line played terrible. We know they were shorthanded. We know they had injuries during the game, but they had every excuse under the sun. Danny Etling looked bad. The receivers didn't make tough catches. This game was awful. And the thing that stood out the most is when you watched the LSU Notre Dame game, and then you watched Georgia play, and then you watched Alabama play right after.
It's a big gap.
There is a big gap between where LSU's at right now and where they want to be, which is where where Georgia and Alabama are headed.
Well, you got to start with a quarterback, Ron. You got to start with a one side of the ball that puts points on the board, and until they're able to just decide on what they're going to be offensively. What are you? What do you want to be? Do you want to be a running team? Do you want to be an up-tempo offense? Do you want to make a bunch of adjustments and shifts and stuff like this? Until they decide on what they're going to be offensively, until they get a quarterback that's a next-level player, that's a difference maker, which they don't have, and they haven't had in a long time, they're going to continue to be mediocre. They have to have a difference maker at that position. You can have all the great athletes you want on the defensive side of the football, Ronnie. You can have the Arden Keys. You can have all the Greedy Williams of the world. You can have all the Duke Rileys, all these great players. But until you get that quarterback, it's the same way in the NFL. You can have players everywhere. Until you get the guy, the snake, the head of the snake, that makes everything go. Until you get that guy, you're going to be a second fiddle to everybody. Jake Fromm, freshman. He doesn't look like a freshman, Ronnie. He does not look like a freshman. Baker Mayfield.
So at the end of
you
the
got to
day,
have a quarterback.
when you look back at the 2017 LSU team and that went 9-4, lost
got an
to
average
Troy,
quarterback.
Number one problem is the quarterback in your mind?
It's a big problem. It's not the number one. Right now, it's going to be the number one problem moving forward year after year.
So let me ask you this. LSU has 3 seasons that stand out in the last 15 years, right? The national championship, Matt Mauck.
Good quarterback.
Lost a game, won a national championship. Matt Flynn lost 2 games, won a national championship.
Was in the NFL for 10 years.
As a backup.
Doesn't matter. He's in the NFL. He played 1 game. Ronnie,
in 11,
let me just stop
when
right
he went 13-0, he had Jared Lee and Jordan Jefferson. Those
and
are
what did they do when
terrible.
What did they do when it mattered?
They played defense.
When they played the best team, when they had to play the best team in college football.
They ran the
They
football
lost
and hoped for 5 missed field goals.
You got to have a guy at the quarterback position that can make plays, Ronnie, period. And I'm going to say this, and people have been bashing me for 2 days for saying this, and I'm going to stand by it. In the NFL, you win championships with defense. You can win a championship with a top-notch, top 5 defense and have a signal caller that can just make a few plays. Brad Johnson, Trent Dilfer. Those kind of guys. The NFL hasn't changed so much that guy can't win you a championship. They can still win that. That's like Nick Foles this year.
Jeff Hostetler.
Those guys can win a championship still to this day. All right? And I'm going to say this, Nick Foles, if Nick Foles just plays okay 2 or 3 games, they can win a championship in Philadelphia. It's different in college football. The quarterback position in the offense matters tremendously because you're going to play the Alabamas of the world. You're going to play the Clemsons of the world. You're going to play the Georgias of the world. Let me tell you something. If Oklahoma didn't have Baker Mayfield, you think that they would have put 45 points?
No.
Hell no. My point is that Georgia would have won that game running away.
But I'll say this.
Georgia did put all those points on Oklahoma because they got a quarterback that can do it.
They got 2.
They got 2.
Actually.
They got like 3 actually. They got 3 because hopefully Jacob Eason will transfer and go sit out a year and then come to LSU because they're going to need him in 2 years. And I'm just going to say it, man. Your offense matters so much at the college level. You got to have a guy that makes everybody look and play better, makes your offensive coordinator better. And Danny Etling is not that guy. He's a serviceable guy.
But
he's not going to make plays.
Danny Etling was not the reason. He didn't help himself. He's not a playmaker.
No.
But Danny Etling Danny Etling should be able to win against Notre Dame in that game yesterday.
No doubt.
You know, Danny Etling should be able to beat Troy. Right?
I thought Danny Etling did enough to win that game.
Danny Etling was as good as you could hope he would be the last 2 years. The guy wasn't good enough to win the job at Purdue. Okay, Purdue, one of the worst team possibly in the Big Ten. He couldn't win the job there. Oh, by the way, Danny Etling, going back to high school, was a dude. I mean, Danny Etling was in the Trent Dilfer top 11 passing academy, all that stuff. ESPN got the T-shirt with the number and all that stuff, right? I mean, Danny Etling was a dude out of high school. Couldn't make it at Purdue. Comes to LSU. By default, he gets the gig. I mean, what did you expect? I mean, so Danny Etling did fine.
I think
I thought the play calling, I thought the offensive line, I thought you got nothing out of your receivers.
Well, they're lacking a lot.
I mean,
on
it
offense
was just
DJ
awful.
Chark,
The whole thing was awful.
DJ Chark is okay.
Yeah, don't put him in the category of the other receivers over the last 6-7 years.
Malachi Dupree is 10 times better than that dude. All right,
ooh.
Ronnie, I'm telling you, dude.
Malachi Dupree 10 times better than DJ Chark.
Than DJ Chark is right now.
Oof, I don't know about that.
All right, well, I'm just telling you, dude. What did DJ Chark do this year that just stood out?
Malachi Dupree didn't do anything. Guy, by the way, Malachi Dupree's doing the same thing that we all are doing.
No, he's
playing
not.
in the
He's
NFL.
playing for Buffalo.
Is he on the practice squad?
No, he's actually was on the.
Did he get out?
He's in the playoffs, Ronnie. He's in the playoffs. What are you? Are you in the playoffs?
No, I'm not. And
I'm gonna tell you
By
something.
the way, Buffalo, the team I'm pulling for in the AFC, because they got him now.
They got a lot of guys. Tre'Davious
they got
White.
the nerd receiver. They've got Tre'Davious White.
The nerd receiver.
Well, he's got those Buddy
that
Holly
was like
glasses.
in high school, bro.
No, he still rocks them.
Okay.
He's got Tre'Davious White. You got Kyle Williams, and you got Ferguson, the long snapper. So I mean, you got four.
I think they got a corner too.
Somebody else maybe.
Another
4 or 5
another
LSU guys playing for Buffalo. How about that? But
no, but LSU, look, they need to get a dude like you like to call him, a real dude, like a Jake Fromm from State Farm. They need to get a Baker
you stole
Mayfield.
That, by the way.
I know I did.
You saw that.
Well, his Twitter handle is Jake from State Farm. But I'm going to say this: Miles Brennan or Noel Narcisse better be a dude. Because if they're not a dude, you're looking at 3 to 4 more years of just 7 and whatever, 8 and whatever, 9 and whatever.
Yeah, that's what you're looking at. You're looking at
there
that
will
anyway.
not be any chance for a top 4.
You're looking at LSU next year, 7-8 wins. I mean,
Maybe.
You lose your offensive line coach, you lose your offensive coordinator, which hasn't happened officially, but it's going to happen. You're going to lose so many personnel people. You lose your defensive line coach. You lose your recruiting coordinator. You're going to have to learn a new system. You've got a new quarterback. You're losing so much that, you're looking at
and they're playing Georgia,
you're looking
Alabama,
at,
Florida.
You got Georgia and Alabama. Florida's going to be much better with Mullen. Mississippi State already pummeled you. Texas A&M's going to be better with Jimbo Fisher. Whoever they get at Arkansas is probably going to be able to do something with their offense at least. I mean, look,
how about Texas A&M?
And by the way, we got Miami to open up on the neutral site.
How about Texas A&M trying to pluck your boy Aranda?
They don't.
Dude, they just.
I'd love to know what the offer was.
Make your opponents weaker.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Dave Aranda's going to make one.
That's what you do. You make your opponents weaker. You find a way to make your opponents weaker. It's not rude. It's what you do.
Dave Aranda is going to make $1.85 million next year.
He deserves every penny of it.
At LSU, and they finished 11th in the country in defense, but at the end, and they couldn't get it done.
Well, and look, let's talk about that real quick.
Well, we'll take a break.
We'll
take a timeout. When we come back, we'll break down this LSU debacle. It's amazing. One pass play at the end of the game changes the next 8 months, the narrative over the next 8 months for LSU football. If they win that game, no matter how ugly, we're talking completely different about not only right now how you feel, but the next 8 months for LSU football. Right now, panic mode. We'll talk about why. We'll get into the Saints. They lost, but they won. We'll talk about that and a whole lot more. Don't go anywhere. Sports Shorts will be back from the LeBear Studios right after this.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what we were trying to do, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. Not showing up on time, not answering the phone, somebody running with your money. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, HardiePlank siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. Service is everything we have. It's the foundation of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. Over 60% of our customers is customer referral. We're a local company here in Baton Rouge, built in Baton Rouge, staying in Baton Rouge. Okay. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. It's built the old-fashioned way, with a handshake. Here at Relief Windows is honored to be official window, door, and siding company of LSU Athletics, from one winning team to another.
Appliance Distributors of Louisiana are appliance experts who have been in business for over 35 years. ADL provides worry-free, full-service solutions for the whole home. ADL works with designers, builders, or individual homeowners like me when I was remodeling my home after the Great Flood in August 2016. ADL offers special homeowner discounts, just like the ones the builders get. Go to ADLappliances.com and see all the major name brands, or stop by their store on Nicholson Drive in Baton Rouge. ADL services the entire state of Louisiana, so call, log on, or stop by today. Appliance Distributors of Louisiana. If you're an avid sports fan, then you need to check out the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, located in historic downtown Natchitoches, next to the Chateau St. Denis Hotel and the Natchitoches Convention Center. The Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame is where the rich history of Louisiana sports is told through the pictures, artifacts, and by the legends themselves in video archives. Come to the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame and Northwest Louisiana History Museum and visit a world-renowned architectural marvel. For more information and to purchase tickets to the annual Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame events, visit lasportshall.com/purchase.
Welcome back, everybody. Ronnie Ranch, Joel Davis here with you in the LeBaire Studios in Baton Rouge. Boy, it was an unbelievable New Year's Eve at LeBaire's all weekend long. They had festivities, gave away a new Lexus on Saturday, but on Sunday, New Year's Eve, place was absolutely packed. Werewolf put on an unbelievable show upstairs in the event center. 1,500 people, standing room only, brought in the new year with confetti cannons and toasts and champagne flowing everywhere. A lot of fun. The weather being terrible around Baton Rouge, folks were taking advantage of being inside over at LeBaire's. They had the Antiques playing in the Edge Lounge. They had another band playing outside, out by the 18 Steak and in the entrance. So a lot of fun had over at LeBaire's. And they got a lot of great stuff going on coming up. They've got Trombone Shorty playing over there, I think the 20th of this month. They've got the Bag of Donuts coming up in a couple of weeks. Some great Ron White, comedian, going to be there in March.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
And a lot of Travis Tritt later this month. I think that show's sold out. But you can go check it out, Ticketmaster.com, or download the LeBaire's Baton Rouge app on one of these smartphones. The LeBaire's Baton Rouge app, download it on your phone. It tells you everything going on. You can book hotel rooms, reservations, you name it. It's all on there. LeBaire's Baton Rouge app. Check it out.
You like your little pop socket, do you?
I do, man. This, thingamajig that you see the kids using. You know what it was? My mom was giving away some Christmas gifts. She put a lot of these in some people's little stockings or whatever. She didn't give me one. And I was like, oh, I like that. I want to try that. And so she had one. It's got like a little, what is that, a little anchor?
An anchor.
Little Navy anchor kind of thing on it.
Sailboat.
Yeah, so I just threw that on there. It doesn't really represent what I'm into. Just, but it's kind of cool. But I saw a new thing that I like even better.
What is it?
It's the Ring. Okay, it's just like the pop socket, whatever. Pop socket, is that what it is? But it's a ring, so where you can hold it just like you do a pop socket and your fingers like that, or you can put your finger through the ring and it just kind of hangs on your finger. You really don't have to do anything.
Is it kind of in the way?
I like it. I don't know.
I haven't seen the ring.
I think it's a case and a ring all in one. I don't know, but
Some cat invented that. And
$10
it's like
a
sitting on
piece.
the beach.
Oh yeah.
Sitting on the beach.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
How many pop sockets you sold? 85 million.
85 million. Yeah. It's crazy. And by the way, you got to get the official one that's like $10 because the other ones fall off. They're not as good.
Really? Yeah.
Like the real deal, Holyfield is the good one.
Yeah.
So
The one that's called Pop Socket.
there you go.
I just noticed that. It was just a little something that looked like my daughter sitting next to me on the TV
Yeah,
show right
yeah,
now.
yeah, a little
By the way,
fun.
my wife says she can't live without it.
It's great.
The pops, once you start using it,
Yeah, you get used
you
to
can't
it.
you can't do without.
No carpal tunnel in my future.
Yeah, my phone's so big. I got the 8. I can't even reach my thumb across it. I'm like,
right. Yeah, sounds
Get
like
a
very,
cramp.
sounds like a personal issue.
It is.
So
short thumbs.
let's talk a little bit about. Let's go back to LSU for a minute. We were discussing how this game impacted this program for the next 8 months, and that's because right now
That Joyner kid, the running back out of Alabama, has already said he's at LSU. You're already starting to see the effects. You're starting to see guys, they're out.
well,
He's a 4-star running back where they need a running back, and they're not even on my list anymore.
yeah, I mean, look, LSU's in a situation where they need running backs desperately. The next 4 weeks in recruiting are crucial to land. Got like 4 more spots to get the best they can. But you're, like I said, you're losing your offensive line coach. You're gonna replace your offensive coordinator with who we don't know.
Sark.
Well,
It's going to be Sark, Ronnie.
you think Falcons are going to fire Steve Sarkisian?
Why wouldn't they?
And they're going to.
Why
What if they
wouldn't
win a
they?
game in the playoffs, which they may? What
Yeah,
if they go to
they've
win a
taken
game?
they've regressed so much offensively, and the only difference is the offensive coordinator.
I get
mean,
it.
he's the difference. He's the common denominator.
I get it, but we'll see. But
Let's bring that guy in.
yeah,
Let's bring that genius
it'd be
in.
fun to party with. But here's the thing: is that now the future for LSU football really hangs in the balance of who Coach O gets as its offense coordinator.
He needs to hit a home
and then
run.
will he truly do like he said he would do last year when he bamboozled everybody? I mean, who was the guy that was the interim coach? That wasn't Coach Ed Ogeron. Like that guy for 2 months
Selling.
was funny. He was
Selling.
open book. He was lighthearted. He was Mr. Motivation. He was let the coaches coach. He was said all the right things. Got the job. Shut the doors. Great salesmanship. Great
But that's what he does with
salesman
recruits.
job. Yeah.
But that's what he does with recruits. He's an unbelievable salesman.
The interviews were good. Now the interviews are robotic. It's terrible. I don't really have anything to say.
That's
Go
because
Tigers.
the heat's on. The heat's on. He had nothing to lose before, Ronnie.
but
he's got everything to lose now.
It's amazing. It really is incredible. And Ed Ogeron was on with Jordy Culotta and Derek Panamsky there that year, and he was out of the work, and he was engaging. It put him back on the map, got him in the mix, and he got in there as the defensive line coach. He said and acted and all the right things. All the things, like he got to take a perspective outside of coaching from a fan perspective, hear what's going on, see from the media side, and yet once he became the head coach, it's like he didn't learn a thing. Didn't learn a thing. I mean, where was this 10 years and I've learned and I'm mature? No.
Let me tell you something.
You hire the offensive coordinator from Pittsburgh, you give him the most money of any coordinator in the country, and then you immediately want to control. A defensive line coach has never been a coordinator, wants to handcuff him. It's like, what did you think you got? I mean, it's just incredible how he just flipped the script on all of us.
It's going to be ugly, Ronnie. It's going to be ugly. I mean, maybe he'll go get some recruits. Maybe he'll get some good players. But this team with Ed Ogeron, it's clear. I mean, look, they should have won the game, right? I know why Ed kicked the field goal at the end. Although I never would have done that. Hold on a second. I would have done it if my kickers were making field goals.
So I wasn't worried about him missing a 17-yarder.
He almost missed it.
I know, but I mean,
my point is,
it wasn't about that decision.
Well, I'm going to let you know what it's about with me. You're on the half goal line.
6 inches.
6 inches. Not even a half goal line.
That's 6 inches,
That
right?
is- yeah, that is actually
That's
6
not.
inches.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right.
I mean, it's pretty freaky.
That's 6. I don't know.
I mean, you got freaking freaky hands.
I'm bad with the 6-inch mark.
I would say this. After missing those 2 field goals, not trusting my kicker, the game is it's at the end of the game. It's 17 all. You're 6 inches away from the goal line. You got Darius Geis. I wouldn't even put it in Darius. I'd have done the Drew Brees. All you got to do is break the line. Is Danny Etling not athletic enough to
Do the Drew.
do the Drew? Just do the Drew. You're in. it's so much safer than the kicker kicking. I mean, based on what we had seen
Okay, so
earlier.
that's your breakdown. of it.
I'm saying go for it, not because
You're saying the Drew is more of a
the
higher
Drew,
percentage than the
you're on the
17-yard field goal.
6-inch yard line. Your arms are longer than a yard. Danny Etling's 6'3", dude.
Just to be clear.
He's 6'3".
Just to be clear, you're saying the reason that you would have gone for it versus kicking is that you think the Etling Drew is
Was
a higher
safer
percentage
than
and
the
safer
kick.
than the 17-yard field goal.
Then the absolute, based on what I saw earlier out of those kickers. Now let me just say this.
Okay.
And I got the defense. Of course, if I've got a kicker, I'm kicking the field goal. If I've got the kicker and I have no worries in the world, I'm kicking it because
Okay.
I got the
go back.
11th best defense.
Let me
in
go
the
back
country.
to this. What percentage, since we're playing Tuesday
Moneyball?
morning quarterback, Tuesday night quarterback, what percentage do you put LSU on the 6-inch yard line, 4th and goal, doing the Drew with Etling versus the 17-yard field goal make or miss? What percentage did you have going into that play?
I would
Etling
think-
scoring at whatever
Well,
percentage.
Drew's 100%.
No, but what's
He's
your,
100%.
what percentage would you have put Etling?
Okay, listen to me. I would say 100%.
Come on.
Okay,
Then nothing's 100.
98%, dude. He's
Okay.
Drew Brees is 6 feet tall.
I'm not
His
talking about
arms
Drew,
are
I'm
short.
talking about Etling.
Okay, I'm saying that you got to be able to do that.
So you're saying you think Etling had a 98% chance of scoring a touchdown if he does the Drew Brees?
Snap and going.
That's what you're going with.
98%.
Okay. What did you have the field goal make miss?
10%.
17-yarder.
10%. Ronnie, I was scared to death of that kick.
God, 10% make miss. That's ridiculous.
Did you see the kick? He almost missed it.
That's ridiculous. 10%. I mean, give me something that's realistic here.
50%.
By the way, that's a 99% make
50.
for in college.
50%.
50. Still only 50.
Hold on a
That's
second.
you're not
Hold
trying
on
to
a
be
second.
funny.
I'm
That's
not-
your real percentage.
50%.
You
Yeah.
thought it was a
Yeah.
coin flip on whether
Yeah.
he makes a 17
Yeah.
yard field goal.
Guess what they were? Guess what they were 20 yards and in yesterday on field goals? 50%.
I get it, but I mean,
So
that's,
I'm going to
but
stick
that's-
with that.
but that-
I'm going to stick with that.
All right, that's
50.
right.
Ronnie, I mean, what? Are you kidding me? I'm not saying I disagree with.
ridiculous.
I'm not saying I disagree with his reasoning. His reasoning is, I understand why he kicked it. I got the 11th best defense in the country. They're not going to score on us. They haven't done anything all day.
Okay,
Consistently. You're not going to let me finish?
Please finish your 50% field goal.
All
make
I'm
miss.
saying is I'm not mad at Ed Ogeron for kicking the field goal. But what I'm saying is my decision would have been go for it because I'm got the 11th best defense in the country. I'm going to if I don't get it, I'm going to give them the ball on the half-inch yard line. So what's the difference? I got the best defense. We're gonna win the game. We're in position to win this game. I'm going to kick it. Yeah, we're going to go out and stop them. But I'm going to go for it. I'm going to put this thing away. Go for it. You put it away.
Okay, you
Les
ready?
Miles would have put it away.
You ready?
And I don't want him back either.
You ready
Yeah, I'm done.
Ready for my? Can you turn your ringer off and then I'll
hold
give
on
you
a
my,
second.
my thing? All right.
Hello?
So
Yeah, hold on a second. We're doing a show.
Yeah,
I'll call
yeah.
you back. All right.
So here's the
hold on a second. I'm not done.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We'll be back.
Tell,
We'll
tell-
be good. I'll call you at the break.
Tell
All
your
right,
wife I said hey.
All right, love you.
So here's the deal: is that if LSU doesn't make the Etling Breeze jump over,
You get the
they
ball in the
give,
center.
please, they give the ball to Notre Dame on the 99 on the 1 yard line. They got to go
6-inch yard.
and they have to go 70 yards to have a realistic
To kick a field goal.
goal. That gives them a 46 yard field goal. They made a 46 and a 49. So they got to go 30 yards. Let's call it. They got let's say 65 yards to have a 50 yarder. Okay, so they got to go 65 yards. Notre Dame does. If you kick the field goal, you make it. You kick off. You kick it in the end zone like you do. They get the ball to 25. Okay?
But they didn't kick it in the end zone.
But I mean, you normally do.
They got it on the 30
Okay, but you
something
normally 25.
But they didn't.
But the 25 is where the ball is going to be most of the time.
But it
all right?
wasn't. But go ahead.
So if they get the ball to 25, they only have to go 25 to the 50 and another 40 yards. So if they
tie the game.
hang on, if they kick the field goal, then Notre Dame has to go 40 yards for a field goal try to tie it.
Yeah.
Okay. If they go for the Drew Brees sneak and they don't make it, they've got to go 65 yards for the
Further.
same field goal
To win.
to win it, okay? 65-40 with my defense. I believe in my defense that they're not going to allow more than 65 yards, okay, on the make miss.
Right.
So I would go for the touchdown.
That's your
If
theory.
you don't make the touchdown, your defense has 65 yards to play with.
Right.
Okay. So, and that's a 50-yard, kick to win it. All right.
Right.
From a guy whose career long was 46 coming into the game. But if you make the field goal, they get the ball back with 2 minutes, and he only got to go 40 yards or 35 since they returned it to the 30. So it's just a easier deal.
I felt like you were going to disagree with me. You're agreeing with me. You go
But
for
I'm
it.
disagreeing with you for the
different
reason
reason.
you're saying it was a 50% chance. It was a 90% chance he was going to make the field goal. Okay,
Wow.
from 17 yards.
why didn't you just
It's a
kick it?
90% chance.
Take the lead,
Because I
Ronnie.
don't want to win. I don't want to give them a chance to win or tie. I want to put the game away.
They haven't done
I go
anything
up 7,
all
that's it.
day offensively.
Well,
Nothing.
We've seen this story. We've done this all day. We're going to give them 35, 40 yards to tie. No. School go up 7, and then they're not going to go 75 yards when I'm playing everything in front.
So what's the
and
play
able to keep
call?
it.
What's the play call on the goal line with 6 inches?
I'm okay with the Etling,
Drew Brees?
with the Drew Brees Etling thing. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I'm okay with
What's
anything,
the percentage
really.
of that happening, working out?
I think LSU scoring right there is about 90% chance. I
On
think
the Etling Drew Brees.
You know what? That offensive line was terrible yesterday.
You don't need an offensive line.
I'm going to go 80% chance.
You need arm length.
I think, but LSU struggled to get a yard all day long.
You don't need to get a yard.
I think LSU had an 80% chance of scoring a touchdown on the Etling dive. Okay? And I
like
think they
that.
had a
Those odds were better
90% chance
now.
of kicking a field goal. But that's not the point. It's not about, I knew they were going to make the field goal. It's about,
Did you see that field goal?
it was terrible. But I mean, come on.
God.
You got so much to work with. The guy
Ronnie,
shanked
if
and
it had
still
been
made
5 yards back, it's a miss.
But it wasn't. It was good.
But
But it's a 17-yard field goal. I could close my eyes.
And if it had
I
been an
got
18-yard
I could
field goal,
close
he
my
missed
eyes.
it.
I could be a blind kicker. You line me up,
Nope.
and you just tell me take 2 steps and swing, and I got an 80% chance of making that.
You're not making it for sure.
I could go straight toe,
Tie your shoe-
barefoot,
Pull the toe
two-toe
back.
touches and a kick. I'm 80% from 17 yards.
I would
Coach.
bet you $1,000 you missed that in that
Wait,
situation.
wait, let's realistically talk about a bet here because we could be in the Tiger
No, no.
Stadium
Oh,
indoor
you're gonna
tomorrow.
be you're gonna be at the Citrus
We
Bowl.
could go to the indoor tomorrow.
Let's go. I'm on.
17-yard field goal.
17-yard, blindfolded, lock it up. Let's go.
I got an
What time we
80%
meeting there?
chance.
What time we going?
I mean,
we're blindfolding it. What? You're getting all
No, but I mean,
jittery.
I need odds with 80%. It's not a
80%. You get one shot, just like he got.
No, I need 5 chances.
Oh, for God's sakes.
I mean, I get.
And I want the shoe tied back. I want your toe up like that with the laces.
What do I need? I
pulled.
can just go regular tennis shoe.
Do what you want.
17 yards, coach. 17 yards.
I agree with you. That's how bad the LSU is with special teams in their kicking game. That's why they went and recruited a guy. They got a JUCO transfer.
By the way, Coach O, that was on the Derek Panamsky, Jordy Collada
He goes
show.
for it.
He goes for it.
100 out of
Coach
100
O, who's
times.
the defensive line coach. He goes. Coach O, who's the interim coach at USC and LSU,
Goes for
it. The Coach O of Ole Miss. I'll take that guy. That call.
Who is
goes
this guy?
for it.
Who is this guy?
I don't know
Who
who
is
this
this
guy
new guy?
is. Who is he?
Is he protecting that? Is he trying to just get a couple more paychecks, a couple of years, and then relax on the beach?
No, he's not because he's firing Canada. If he wanted to do that, he just let him coach. I mean,
I'm
it's
concerned, Ronnie.
bizarre to me. I don't.
So bizarre.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about a happier subject, and that's the New Orleans Saints. As Sean Payton talked about, the new season starts now. But the Saints are limping in hurt, banged up.
Boy, are they.
Their defense is looking like it did a year ago. Can the Saints rally at home? They've got the path laid out that they wanted. We'll talk about the Houdats
they?
when we return from the LeVare Studios right after this.
At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete in everyone, from the Grand Slam hitter to grandparents. If your doctor prescribes physical therapy, ask for Peak Performance by name, getting you back in the game of life.
Relief Window. Experience Relief Window.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what we were trying to do, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. Not showing up on time, not answering the phone, somebody running with your money. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, Hardy Planker siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. Service is everything we have. It's the foundation of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. Over 60% of our customers is customer referral. We're a local company here in Baton Rouge, built in Baton Rouge, staying in Baton Rouge. Okay. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. It's built the old-fashioned way, with a handshake. Here at Relief Windows, it's an honor to be official window, door, and siding company of LSU Athletics, from one winning team to another.
Relief Windows.
BR Mattress Company is the only name you need to know when looking to buy a mattress anywhere in Louisiana. BR Mattress Company is located in the Live Oak Shopping Center on Florida Boulevard between North Foster and Acadian. BR Mattress Company offers all the top name brands at 50 to 75% off retail prices. That's a $5,000 mattress for only $1,500. BR Mattress Company is open 7 days a week, and owner Mitch Kimball and his staff will provide you with laser-like service and a PhD in mattress education. If you want the best night's sleep of your life, go see the experts, Baton Rouge Mattress Company.
At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete in everyone, from the three-point shooter to the three-piece suit. If your doctor prescribes physical therapy, ask for Peak Performance by name, getting you back in the game of life.
Welcome back, everybody. Ronnie Ranch, Joel Davis here in LeBaire Studios in Baton Rouge, wrapping up what hopefully everybody had a great, happy New Year and good holiday season with the family. As it always is a very tumultuous time in the world of college football and pro football right after the bowl games and the holidays and everything. We know that the national championship game next week is going to feature Georgia and Alabama. That's got everybody pissed off around the country because nobody wanted to see the SEC represented, and so now it's a regional event. It's taking place in Atlanta, and it's Alabama versus Georgia. Should be a heck of a game.
What would you rather see?
I want to see Georgia win.
Would you rather see Alabama and Oklahoma? Or would you rather see Alabama and Georgia? Or Clemson, Oklahoma?
No, I'm a guy that always pulls for the SEC. Unlike a lot of people that watch this show that are LSU fans that hate Alabama.
I know.
I'll pull for Alabama to win any right. SEC school. Vanderbilt, doesn't matter. Any SEC school I want to win.
They're just jealous.
Yeah, and I love this. And by the way, this was a terrible year for the SEC. I totally agree with the national pundits. The SEC 4 through 14 was awful, not only in the bowl game but all year long. But hey, top two were pretty good.
Pretty good.
And for
top
the most,
four were pretty good.
Although until Malzahn got his $7 million, he's 0-2 since he got his $7 million contract extension. He lost in the championship game of the SEC to Georgia badly, and then he lost to UCF, Central Florida, by the way, undefeated on the season. They put out a great tweet that said, "Who's next?" We're ready for next week.
Yeah.
Because they want to keep playing. Hey, we should be in the playoff.
You remember how fun it was? Just a few months ago, when we were all making fun of his voice, and he was so captivating.
Come on, before the season.
Yes.
Before the Troy game.
Everybody see words of right.
Yeah. BYU, LSU, BYU, Tigers shut out, BYU 27-0. We think that means something. Turns out BYU's just a little bit better than Catholic High at Baton Rouge. But we thought it meant something. We were all mad that they were making fun of Coach O's voice, in the ESPN broadcast. Michael Bonnet sent out a tweet, didn't appreciate that. ESPN, I mean, how times have changed. 4 months later or whatever.
They're ready to kick into
now
the curb.
this LSU football team is not only, well, you get back to the Saints in a minute, but not only is the future unnerving because you look around and what's the landscape? We got Jimbo on your left. You got Nick on your right. You got Mullen you playing every week now with a better team in Florida. You got upgrades galore, other than really Ole Miss is going to be bad for the next few years. We're not really worried about Arkansas long term. But Mississippi State just pummeled you. We'll see what they do.
It's scary,
You
Ron.
got Auburn, who's looking really. It's scary. The landscape. Everybody seems to be getting better around you, and you're taking a step back. All right, let's talk Saints. Your reaction to what happened this weekend?
Well, I mean, you hate to see your team lose the last game of the season, especially versus a 4-11 team that you're supposed to beat. 3 more interceptions defensively, and you still can't. You win the turnover battle.
Second game this
Second
year,
game
they've
this year.
they've gotten 3 interceptions. One was Matt Ryan.
Yeah, and then 2
in
games that they
Atlanta.
could have lost or should have won, and they didn't. It actually works out in their favor because I told you before the game. Look, playoffs, anything can happen. You could be the team throwing the 3 interceptions. You're a fumble away from losing. That's why the NFL it's so hard to win a championship. You saw last week. I mean, with your boy fumbling on a punt return inside the 5-yard line, Tampa scoops it and goes in the end zone. I mean, that's you can lose a game in the playoffs like that just by a simple mistake like that, and if you're not 100% focused. So your ball's got to bounce your way, but it is scary to see this team not taking advantage of these turnovers. The offense is not pouring it on.
Offense is not what the national media says it is.
Now they're ranked top 4. They're like the number 2 offense in the league.
That's so misleading.
It is very misleading. There's a lot of hidden yards. There's a lot of yards between the 20s in there. Let's just put that.
Yeah.
There's a lot
Red
of yards.
zone, this is not a red zone
This
team.
is not a red zone team. They're lacking that elite player. The Jimmy Grahams, who by the way will not be back in Seattle next year. I don't know if they can mend that fence, but he's the perfect guy to bring in to just be able to finish
Yes,
off drives.
yes, please bring
They
him.
need to bring him in just to finish off
Buy him
drives.
one of
They
those
got to
planes.
find
He's a pilot. Buy him a little plane. put it in.
or find somebody else that can finish off drives inside the 20 because they're not. That's where they're shutting down. If Alvin Kamara is not catching that little inside route,
Can we get Ben Watson back?
dude, I'd love to have him. He's a great guy too, Man of the Year award recipient. But the Tampa game, the loss, could have been devastating to this football team.
Ugh.
Could have been so huge. Fortunately for the New Orleans Saints, Carolina drops an ugly game to Atlanta. Atlanta had everything to play for, but so did Carolina. But this just shows you Carolina's not a very good football team. They're not very good right now, Ron. They are struggling offensively. They're lacking a lot of weapons. When Devin Funches is your top go-to guy, because even with Olsen coming back, and this will be the first time the Saints have played Carolina with Olsen, he's nowhere near the guy he was last year with the Carolina Panthers. He's a half the man he used to be. He'll still make some plays over the middle, but the Saints should win this game unless they lose the game. I don't think Carolina is going to come into New Orleans and just beat down the Saints. I just don't see that happening. But what I could very well see, and what you may see, is the Saints stumble like they did versus Tampa and let an inferior team beat them. That's the NFL. So that's what you have to worry about. Other than that, if they play their game, don't turn the football over, rush the football like we know they can, get Alvin Kamara involved, get Michael Thomas his 6, 7, 8 catches, and find somebody else that can make a play on that offense. Defense, just play your game. Create a turnover. You don't need 3, just a turnover or 2. They should win the game at home and then go play either Philly or the Minnesota Vikings. You don't know who you're playing in that second round yet because we don't know what Atlanta's going to do with the Rams. So that's the scenario. I wouldn't be shocked if Atlanta beats the Rams.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think that's possible.
And the Saints are still going to go to the Vikings.
Everybody's making a lot. If you turn on any national broadcast or any talking head show, they're going to put a lot on Drew Brees and Matt Ryan. Their
Yes.
experience. They all think Atlanta can make a run. They all think the Saints can make a run. I don't think the Saints can make a run. I think the Saints have played their best football for 2017. I think they were very fortunate with the scheduling, the way it worked out, the fact they didn't play any quarterbacks earlier in the year. But the defense overachieved for most of the year. Kamara is a superstar in the making. Ingram was outstanding. But what we did see with this team is the injuries now have caught up to them on the defensive side of the football. This defense is not very good anymore. Drew Brees has taken a step back. Drew Brees is not a top 5 quarterback in the league anymore.
Yes, he is.
No way. No
Yes,
way
he
it's
is.
true. But there were so many balls. There was one particular out route that he threw a 15, 20
Like
yard
this?
out. I mean, Thomas was wide open. He came out of his break. He's running towards the sidelines, and he's just standing there before he goes out of bounds, waiting for the ball, and it gives the guy enough time to come in and break it up.
No, he's
I
not
mean,
what he was, but he's still better than 75% of that league.
I think I said not top
Who's
5
better than him?
quarterback in the league.
Who's better?
Okay.
Let's go through the list.
Okay, let's go through Tom Brady.
Of course.
Let's go through Carson Wentz.
He's not playing.
Okay, but
He's not in the league right
I'm just talking about the 32 quarterbacks.
What has Carson Wentz
I mean,
done?
I'll take I'll take Wentz over Drew Brees right now.
Good for you.
I'll take Wentz. I'll take Tom Brady. I'll take Rodgers. I'll take Russell Wilson.
Wow.
I'll take
Who's not in the playoffs, by the way?
I'll take oh man,
really
Jared
tough.
Goff is I
Jared
love
Goff.
me some Jared Goff. I'm not going to take him just yet.
Yeah, I'd take him next year, but I'm not taking him
gonna
this
I'm
year.
not going to take him just yet.
Boy, he's really having to think hard on this fifth one, isn't he?
I'll take Roethlisberger.
You'll take
I'll take me
Roethlisberger.
some Roethlisberger. He's got more skins, and the guy he just finds a way. He's a winner. I think he's got more tread left on the tires. Roethlisberger.
The only one I don't agree with is Russell Wilson.
I would take. Ooh, do I go Jimmy G? Do I buy into the 5 games?
We're not talking about guys.
I'm
that
talking
are
about
gonna-
right now. I'm talking about right now.
You're gonna
Guys
go
that are
Jimmy G.
better than
So
Drew
you would
Brees
rather Jimmy
moving
G
forward.
start? Honestly, you would rather Jimmy G.
No, I'm just joking.
Okay,
No,
that's
Jimmy
stupid.
G.
And I wouldn't
joking.
necessarily take Russell Wilson over what you have in Drew Brees right now. Maybe a year or two from now, because Drew Brees is going to be. I mean, he's super close to being done, Ronnie. He's close to being
He's
done.
close. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, Russell,
I'd still take him in the play.
in the playoffs this year.
Drew Brees plays pretty good in the playoffs. He's been a good quarterback. I mean, he's never beaten you in the playoffs. He's not going to take those chances that he
I
normally
think the
takes. during
Saints are so easy right now to defend. You just keep everybody.
No.
within
I
20
told you
yards.
they were a
Can't
fraud
throw the
early in the
ball.
season. I told you they were a fraud early in the season. I think they're a year away, but by then Drew Brees may not be good
How about
anymore.
the throw to Ginn? Ginn was
Wide
running
open.
wide open down
Wide
the field,
open.
a double move.
That'd
And
put
I
him
mean-
up 21-6.
I mean, wide open, and he couldn't
What if
hit
it
him.
would have been 21-3 then? I think it would have been 21-3 at that point.
Yeah.
You got to hit that guy. But look, here's the problem. I think that this team is a year away. Problem with that is
Then
Drew
who's going
Brees-
to be your quarterback?
Right. I mean, I think Drew will be here. I think Drew will still be your quarterback next year, but he's going to get another year older, another year slower.
We saw how quickly
they will be better next
We
year.
saw how quickly Peyton Manning lost it.
It happens overnight.
I mean,
bro.
when you get to that 40 number, I mean,
Unless you're Tom Brady.
Peyton Manning, the year before his last year, had the
Normal.
greatest year of his
Yeah,
career.
normal.
you
And then
know?
he just
And then all of a
nothing.
sudden, it was literally like he had to crow hop to throw it 30 yards.
And I'm telling you, that could be Drew Brees next year. That's what frightens me. I think that this is your window, and I think that they know this.
Yeah,
This is
I
their
just-
window.
Unfortunately, I mean,
They're
you look-
missing so many.
They got
They
so many
need
injuries.
Trey Hendrickson to be back this week. They need that dude back in a massive way to be on that defensive line. And I just don't know if he's going to.
Now, that said, I do think even this banged up New Orleans Saints team at home against Carolina.
Yeah, they can win that game.
That's a winnable game. I don't think they have anything left to go on the road to win 2 games on the road and all that kind of stuff. But
I don't think that they have what it takes to beat the Vikings with a week off. I think that they're young. I think that defense is so good, Ronnie. And Case Keenum is not a joke, dude. The dude's balling out at home with a week of prep. 2 weeks.
But they're not going to have to play the Vikings.
They may, if Atlanta wins.
No, they're going to go play.
Dude, the lower seed goes to the Philadelphia Eagles. The
It's
lowest
an
seed.
adjust deal. It's not an automatic
The
route.
the Philadelphia Eagles are going to play the lowest seed remaining, and the Saints are going to play the highest seed remaining if they win. It's a 4-team playoff. So if
So they reseed.
No, Atlanta's the 6th seed.
Yeah, but
Philadelphia is going to get
but Atlanta's
the
the
lowest.
6th seed. Minnesota is the. Oh, that's right. Philly is the number 1.
They're the number 1 seed. So Atlanta could go to Philly.
And I think
If
that Philly is the
if
number
the
1,
Saints
not
and
the
Atlanta
Vikings.
win, if the Saints and Atlanta win, Saints still have to go to Minneapolis. So if you want to go to Philly, you better hope the Rams win.
And the Rams are at home.
At home, they should win.
In LA.
They rested their team. They're a very good football team. Atlanta put it all on the line last
And
week.
they're going to have 3 weeks to prepare because they basically they gave up that game. They rested their guys. Then they get another week. I mean, they're going to be
No,
super fresh.
That's this week. It's this week.
Yeah, but I mean, they didn't
Atlanta-
play last. I mean, their
But it's
starters
still
really
2
didn't do
weeks.
anything.
That's 2 weeks.
What's
It's not
the
3 weeks.
week to prepare for the final game, a week to prepare for a game you're not playing, and then another week to prepare for the game you're playing.
They're playing this week. The Rams are playing this week versus
So they
Atlanta.
didn't get a bye.
I mean, you could sit there and
I need a
talk
cocktail.
and get all cocky.
Yeah, but I thought the Rams had a bye.
I got you.
My bad. To the 5 people
See how
watching,
he talks when he
I
thinks
appreciate
he's like he starts pointing that big long 6-inch finger and like poking the desk like he knows what he's talking about, Marty. May not quite be 6 inches.
So, we got to take a break. I got to regroup. I had the Rams off today in my mind.
which is retarded.
All right, when we come back, we're gonna quickly touch on some LSU basketball because they play Kentucky this week at home, and there's a great song out there about Will Wade you need to get. But also, we'll have our predictions.
Yep.
We'll kind of talk about what we think may happen in the playoffs. One thing we do know: Rams will play this week against the Atlanta Falcons. We'll be
You're
back
welcome.
right after this.
You're welcome.
I need to be Matt Moscona.
Relief window. Experience. Relief window.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what we were trying to do, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. Not showing up on time, not answering the phone, somebody running with your money. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, Hardy Planker siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. Service is everything we have. It's the foundation of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. Over 60% of our customers is customer referral. We're a local company here in Baton Rouge, built in Baton Rouge, staying in Baton Rouge. Okay. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. It's built the old-fashioned way, with a handshake. Here at Relief Windows, it's an honor to be official window, door, and siding company of LSU Athletics, from one winning team to another.
Relief windows.
Appliance Distributors of Louisiana are appliance experts who have been in business for over 35 years. ADL provides worry-free, full-service solutions for the whole home. ADL works with designers, builders, or individual homeowners like me when I was remodeling my home after the Great Flood in August 2016. ADL offers special homeowner discounts, just like the ones the builders get. Go to ADLappliances.com and see all the major name brands, or stop by their store on Nicholson Drive in Baton Rouge. ADL services the entire state of Louisiana, so call, log on, or stop by today. Appliance Distributors of Louisiana. If you're an avid sports fan, then you need to check out the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, located in historic downtown Natchitoches, next to the Chateau St. Denis Hotel and the Natchitoches Convention Center. The Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame is where the rich history of Louisiana sports is told through the pictures, artifacts, and by the legends themselves in video archives. Come to the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame and Northwest Louisiana History Museum and visit a world-renowned architectural marvel. For more information and to purchase tickets to the annual Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame events, visit lasportshall.com/purchase.
Welcome back, everybody. Ronnie Ranch, Joel Davis here in LeBaire Studios in Baton Rouge. We got a quick 4 minutes to get to for the end of the show. One, LSU basketball takes on Kentucky this Wednesday. Going to be a sold-out crowd. The first SEC basketball game of the year. And regardless of what you think of LSU basketball, they're a joy to watch these days because they play and hustle. That coach has passion. This isn't a team, in my opinion, that will probably get into the NCAA tournament this year. I think they're an NIT team. Next year, they're an NCAA team. But boy, they're still fun to watch. And hey, first game of the year at home, you never know.
Well, when you have a superstar, it makes all the difference in the world. When you have one guy that's worth the price of admission, it can change your program.
Waters is that guy for you.
Waters is that guy. I mean, he's just so fun to watch. He's special. He can finish. He can dish it. He can play defense. He can do it all, Ronnie. And then that guy's going to be around for a few years. So just because of his size, I don't see him going into the NBA after his first year, second year, whatever, whenever they can leave. But I think he's going to be around a while, and that's great news for LSU. And he also likes to recruit. He helps recruit. He openly talks about it. So that's a great thing.
The Parish County line going to be performing at halftime, so a little special treat for you if you go to the LSU-Kentucky game.
Do you see the difference in how people are talking about LSU basketball
Yeah.
than how they're talking about LSU football?
Yeah, there's this belief
recruiting.
and enthusiasm.
That hurts recruiting like you'll never believe. Now, you're going to get the guys that are going to go to LSU no matter what, right, for football. I was growing up being a fan. They're going to come here no matter what. But to cross enemy lines and pluck them like they can pluck ours, it's not going to happen.
NFL football, some news. Carson Palmer, longtime
Retired.
great quarterback, retiring with the Cardinals. Kirk Cousins is going to be a free agent. I mean, he's going to have lots of options. Jimmy G being courted heavily by the 49ers. Of course, they want to get a long-term deal.
They'll put a franchise tag on. He's not going
But
anywhere.
they're trying to get a long-term deal, so they don't even have to do that. How about Ray Lewis? I mean,
But I wouldn't. If I'm Jimmy G, I'm not signing anything.
How about Marvin Lewis? 15
This is
years as
unbelievable.
head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals. 15 years as head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals. They
Like
went
Jim
7-9 this year. They just redid a two-year extension.
7-9, baby.
7-9.
Woo!
Marvin
They were
Lewis, 15
5-9.
years with the Bengals.
They were 5-9.
And they won their last two. They beat Buffalo and the Ravens to finish the season.
But those were two potential playoff teams.
Right.
Buffalo is a playoff
yeah.
team.
Unbelievable that Marvin Lewis has still got that job. I mean,
He's such a look.
Wow.
He is a good man, though, Ronnie. That's why. I mean, he is a leader of men. There's no baggage there. He is a clean as a whistle.
but you're also
And
saying that mediocrity is
But
acceptable
people
in
love
Cincinnati.
him, dude. And if you watch him interact with his players, you can see why. He's a true gentleman. And does he win a lot of football games? No. I mean, I don't think he's won a playoff game in 15 years. Has he? Has he? I don't think he has.
I think he's won like maybe one.
Oh, my.
John Gruden. It's
insane.
wildly being rumored that
It's
he
done.
is going to be the coach of the Raiders. That he's going to get some own. No, they have to interview some minorities that are going to get big time problems. But
Ownership, baby.
But they're going to. There's all this speculation. Not only is it going to be the $7 million or whatever a year, but he's going to get a piece of ownership, whether that's 1%, 2%, whatever. By the way, Raiders moving to Vegas in a couple years. So Gruden's not going to be the head coach in Oak. You're going to be with a brand new franchise in
Stadium.
Vegas. Probably going to become the most highly sought after franchise in the country. Once Vegas gets its handle on it with a new stadium,
Wow.
I mean, the Raiders are going to become maybe the #1 franchise in the whole. And players are going to
You'll
want
love
to
it.
go play in free agency for John Gruden. Crazy deal.
And in Vegas.
He's leaving a $6-7 million deal where he works one game a week. He's Joel Davis. I'm Ronnie Rance. Have a great week. We'll be back championship week next week. Crimson Tide taking on Georgia Bulldogs.
If you're an avid sports fan, then you need to check out the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, located in historic downtown Natchitoches, next to the Chateau St. Denis Hotel and the Natchitoches Convention Center. The Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame is where the rich history of Louisiana sports is told through the pictures, artifacts, and by the legends themselves in video archives. Come to the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame and Northwest Louisiana History Museum and visit a world-renowned architectural marvel. For more information and to purchase tickets to the annual Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame events, visit lasportshall.com/purchase.